Welcome back to another daily drop here on TarHeelIllustrated.com. I'm THI publisher Andrew Jones, flying solo with you today as we deviate from our football fest that has been going on for quite a while on the site to talk some Carolina basketball, which we have been hitting on a fairly regular basis, but we're going to pick a lot of that up as the Tar Heels are in the meat of their preseason practice regimen. And Friday, the 6th of October, which is tomorrow, will be basketball media day for Carolina. So it'll be our first chance in person to see the 2023-24 team. And we will have an opportunity to talk to all the players, have an opportunity to watch practice, and really get our first good feel for what this team is all about. Quick reminder, this show is sponsored by Underdog Fantasy. I'll have a couple of words from them here in a few minutes. So, Basketball Media Day. Really interesting this year, given the fact that there's only 4 returning scholarship players from last year's team. Usually, there's 6 or 7, and we get a chance to talk to them. Usually don't talk to new guys, or lately, I guess, when you bring in transfers, you can talk to transfers because they've already been in college. But we're getting the true freshmen, too. Times have sort of changed. The old Dean Smith, freshmen don't talk to the media until they play in the game stuff, no longer applies because we are in such a different era. These kids do plenty of interviews before they ever get to school. They are brands. Elliot Cadeau is an NIL guy and has been one for a couple of years. He is a public figure and has been a public figure. So it's a different time. So we get to talk to Elliot Cadeau. We get to talk to Zayden High, the 2 freshmen. We get the 5 transfers that have come in from other schools. We get the 4 returning scholarship Tar Heels. And we were told that there's 14 players available, which means we'll get a couple of the walk-ons too. I don't know how many of these guys I will have time to talk to. We have a 45-minute window. It's going to be hard to get to all of them and spend decent time with all of them, but I will do my best. And we also get Hubert Davis for about a half hour in his press conference. And after all that, we get to watch practice. We get to shoot the first 30 minutes. So we'll have some videos for you guys of the different players. Not sure yet what our plan for how we're going to do those videos is yet. We'll decide, obviously, before we get to Chapel Hill on Friday. I'm going to tell you guys what I'm going to be looking for the most and what I'm looking forward to seeing and hearing the most in just a moment. But first, let's go ahead and hear a word from our sponsor, Underdog Fantasy.
Yes, guys, we are so excited to be partnered with Underdog Fantasy. And we decided to partner with Underdog because it's the easiest place to play fantasy sports, and it's also the fastest growing fantasy app in the industry right now as well. And Underdog Fantasy has so much to offer, including their Pick'em game. And in Pick'em, you pick whether your favorite players will have a higher or lower stat total in this week's game for a chance to win big. It's so easy to play. Just pick 2 to 5 stats of your favorite players and choose whether they'll go higher or lower. And you can 20x your money by going just 5 for 5. They also have a Best Ball Mania. If you think you know football, you need to check this one out. This year's Best Ball Mania has $15 million in total prizes up for grabs, with the winner taking home $3 million. So sign up today with the promo code HEEL, HEEL, and get your first deposit doubled up to $100. Visit UnderdogFantasy.com or find them in the App Store. And don't forget to register with that promo code HEAL to get your first deposit doubled up to $100. Must be 18 plus and present in the state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms do apply. And if you're concerned with your play, call 1-800-522-4700 or visit ncpgambling.org. Back to the show.
Well, those of you that know me know that there is a long laundry list of things that I'm going to be looking forward to seeing on Friday when we get our first glimpse of the 2023-24 Tar Heels. Obviously, I can't wait to talk to Armando again. The last time I talked to him personally was after they lost to Virginia in the ACC tournament. Same goes for RJ Davis. So I want to know what their thoughts are. I want to pick their brain about the new guys. I want to get an idea of what the vibe is around the team, and it begins with them. It clearly begins with them. But who's the next one? Who's the next vibe generator on this team? Perhaps it's Cormac Ryan. So I'm looking forward to talking to him about his experiences prior to coming to Carolina, why he came to Carolina, and where he thinks he is in the leadership role with this team. With so many new guys, it's going to be easier for a new player to more quickly become a leader and a fanny slapper. I will tell you that Mike Bray often complimented the kind of leader that Cormac Ryan was at Notre Dame. He was a captain there. And he said he's one of the best leaders he's ever had, he's ever coached. So how does that transfer over to Chapel Hill? And how much will RJ and Armando embrace that? And might Ryan be the kind of guy who's more vocal than RJ and Armando, who maybe becomes the dude that gets the huddle together, the guy who speaks out? Brady Manick, once he got real comfortable a couple years ago, started speaking out publicly and sometimes expressed unhappiness over a few things. When does Cormac Ryan become that guy? That'll be an interesting conversation. Harrison Ingram. He's a guy that was not a captain last year, but certainly had a lot of responsibilities a captain might at Stanford. He's a player that almost came to Carolina out of high school, ended up going to Stanford, 2 years there. He was all freshman team, Pac-12 his first year, had a very similar year last year, not outstanding, but good, solid, consistent. So why did he come? How might his game look different at UNC this year as opposed to what we saw at Stanford? Jalen Withers was a captain at Louisville last year. He's one of 5 players on this roster who were captains of college teams last year. RJ and Armando, we've already said Cormac Ryan, Jalen Withers, and also Paxton Wojcik at Brown. I want to talk to Jalen about that. I want to talk to him about his block shot of RJ a couple of years ago at the end of regulation that sent that crazy game in Louisville into overtime. The one where the fans were throwing stuff on the court. I'm courtside. I got hit with a bunch of junk. In fact, Jacob Turner will remember this too. When I did my 3 things video with him, I went and sat after the game. I went and sat on the main press row where the official score was and some of the broadcasters. And when I sat down there, the whole thing smelled like beer. Well, why did it smell like beer? When the broadcasters weren't drinking, what happened is that fans were throwing booze, and a bunch of it landed there on the scorer's table. That was the night that Withers blocked that shot from behind, that layup. So I want to know how he thinks he fits in. Why did he come to Carolina? What does he think about the other guys they've been adding? And what does he think about Armando and RJ playing for Hubert? That's all going to be really interesting. I want to talk to Paxton Wojcik, again, a captain. He's a young man whose father was an assistant under Matt Doherty when he was born. So did he ever have a tug toward Carolina? Did he ever dream of playing at Carolina? How does he view his role with this team? Is he going to be an 8th man that comes off the bench and smacks a few fannies and gets some rebounds and dives after loose balls? Because I think Carolina fans are going to be very pleasantly surprised at the kind of toughness and grit that he plays with, but he's also got skill. Very good passer, very good shooter. He's a guy that could drive and hit floaters, and he's got really good court vision. How does he mesh in? How about James Okonkwo, the late addition from West Virginia? He was a member of the British 19 and under team that did pretty well. He had fans were loving his highlights that we got to see on social media from his play back in, I guess it was early August, late July, or I think it was late July. So what brought him here? Would he have stayed at West Virginia if Bob Huggins wasn't fired? What is his role behind Armando? How has it been like banging Armando in practice? And of course, Jalen Washington, returning sophomore forward. How has his game grown? How much stronger is he? How much weight has he gained? Seth Trimble, we'll talk to him about his shooting, how much time he spent on that. And obviously, Elliot Cadeau and Zayden High. There is so much. We only get like 45 minutes for all the interviews with the players. I wish we got about 45 hours because I'd like to spend a couple hours with each one of them picking their brains, but we're going to have plenty of time over the next month. We'll see him again when we have ACC Media Day in Charlotte. And then, of course, the season is going to be here before you know it. It's in a month, less than a month, I guess now, around a month. So It's going to be here. It's going to be a really interesting team to document. It's going to change a lot. It's going to grow a lot, and it's got a lot of fascinating, interesting, very veteran parts. So that's what I'm looking forward to. So make sure you stay with us for our coverage at TarHeelIllustrated.com. We'll pop everything out on Twitter, obviously. We'll have a lot of videos of different players on our YouTube channel. But the in-depth stuff you're going to find at THI for just $8.33 a month. You can be an insider too. Anyway, go ahead and click like if you like this video. If you're excited that Basketball Media Day is here, if you're looking forward to seeing all the different stuff that we produce from Media Day, hit like again, hit like a bunch of times. Go ahead and share this video with your Carolina friends. Let them know we're here and let them know to come back and that we are prolific uploading videos. So subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know every time we pop something up, especially those videos from Friday. The players practicing. If you want to know every time we upload one of those things, subscribe and hit that notification bell now, and you will find out as soon as those things go up. Thank you to Underdog Fantasy for sponsoring this show. We have a wonderful relationship with them that will continue through the end of the football season. I'm AJ, and I'll see you tomorrow.